I'll make it funny.
Okay.
I will carry this pod for us. Somebody has to. Welcome to one more game presented by Hoosier Pickleball. I am your host, Matt Brandenberger, alongside my, I don't know, something.
Are you kind of over me right now?
No, not really. I did just have a funny line that caused me to get gut punched. You stood up out of your chair and punched me in the stomach.
I did.
And then it was pretty funny. You were laughing the whole time.
I was.
What was it? I was talking about somebody
I
who
said somebody in particular hates that she loves me.
hates that she loves you. And I said, I can feel that.
You hate that you love me?
Which is...
So I punch you in the stomach.
Sometimes, yeah. For sure. Well, looky, we are at Ace Pickleball Club. We made it back from our couch and actually are recording on a Friday.
These are our friends.
These are our friends playing. We could do some play-by-play commentary of them.
Yeah.
Who we got? Sarah Rarig.
Uh-huh.
I see Eric May, maybe. I don't know. I can't really see. I don't want to turn around. I know
Right.
Doug was out there playing.
Uh-huh.
Had a lot of friends out here
Yeah.
today. It's been fun. Ace has been great.
Yeah. I played for 3.5 hours this morning.
You did, and you played with a little plug for
Yes.
Wheeland Real Estate.
Yeah,
and
so a client, I just sold his house, and I said, they are moving out of state. And I said, well, you have to experience Ace one time, and I'll pay your drop-in fee if you come play pickleball with me. So if you want me to pay your drop-in fee,
there you go. Call Abby.
let me be your realtor.
She'll be your realtor. You are doing a great job. You're getting more and more clients, and things are starting to pick up. So thankful for that, but definitely we'll call you our main sponsor now.
Sure.
Is Abby.
And I'll even throw in like a lesson,
There you go.
like a pickleball lesson.
Okay. I can throw in some passes to Ace as well.
Right.
We'll market
Right.
you and us.
Sounds
It's great.
good. Yeah.
So what have we been up to? What's new? We had a party last weekend.
We did. Your favorite kind.
Yes. It was a big weekend for me because I finally got over my fear of fondue.
Matt has had a
Have we
fear
talked about this
since
on the
you
pod
were like
before?
8 years old.
Not quite
12?
8, 12-ish. I think it was Christmas Eve, 1992, 91 maybe. And my family decided to have a tradition of fondue.
Cheese, which
Cheese
is different
fondue.
than oil and
Yes.
chocolate.
Yes.
Lots of options.
Lots of different options. I love all three. I love cheese, I love oil, and I love chocolate. But the cheese did not go well for me. Back on Christmas Eve so long ago, I ate way too much. Particularly sourdough bread was my downfall. And threw up all night long. All of the cheese, all of the fondue. And ever since then, much to Abby's chagrin, I have had a problem with sourdough bread. To this day.
Keep in mind, he has thrown up McDonald's and yet does not have a problem with
And
McDonald's.
Wendy's. Lots of fast food I've thrown up, but
He's gotten over that quickly and
For
yet
sure.
cannot get over sourdough bread.
Yeah, so Abby doesn't believe me that when I say I don't like sourdough bread, but I don't because of fondue. But we got invited to a fondue party. Reluctantly, I accepted because I like the people we were going to go to the fondue party with, and it was amazing. It was an
amazing.
oil fondue party.
Yes, and there was steak. It was so good. It made me want to do it at our house. I think we'd have fun.
Somebody even brought me a loaf of
Your
white
own
bread.
White bread, yeah. Crusty bread.
A French baguette. And it was an oil fondue party, but it was amazing. So
Yeah.
that was fun.
It was fun.
What else have we been doing? Hanging out at Ace a lot. Let's talk a little bit about Ace.
Yeah.
We have the minor league pickleball event coming up. That's part of our grand opening weekend. So March 1st, 2nd, 3rd. We will, hopefully you're on the Ace email list. If you're not, make sure you sign up for that because lots of information coming out this week on the grand opening. But just to give you a high-level overview, Friday night we have the grand opening event. We're going to have a special guest. I don't think we can say his name, okay, but special guest. We're also going to have Jackie Kawamoto, who is a pro, and she's going to be doing kind of a special little fundraiser thing where you can challenge her to a few points. We're going to have glow night that night, just lots of fun, festive activities, and if you're a member, you're going to get a swag bag full of all kinds of fun stuff, so it's going to be a good night.
And non-members come.
They absolutely can.
They can't. Do they
Yep.
pay?
No, it is going to be a free event for non-members.
Okay.
But they don't get all the perks that
Sure.
you have. But you could sign up now, or you could sign up that night and be a part of it.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm just gonna, like, the members here are saying the feedback is it's totally worth it.
Totally worth it.
Totally worth being a member here.
Absolutely. And I think that'll be proven throughout the weekend, because then we have the minor league event on Saturday. There are some spots still available. So signups have been going well. We would like them, especially at the higher divisions and the lower divisions. Like the middle, the duper 16, 18 is getting pretty well full.
That's
there are
like the majority
spots.
of pickleball players, though.
Right.
So I think it's probably just true to the percentages. But we could use.
So Abby and I are playing in Duper 20. There's a couple other teams signed up, but we need more. So you can challenge us, play against us, put a team together, come up to Fort Wayne March 2nd, and play in the minor league event. They're awesome. It's basically just Major League Pickleball, but for amateurs. So please sign up if you haven't done so already. Tell your friends. We'll be hyping that up a lot this coming week as well. And then Sunday is going to be a really cool event for anyone who is a member. There is a free clinic put on by Jackie and Jade Kawamoto. It's going to include like an exhibition match. There's going to be just some fun and games and a lot of teaching to improve your game.
Now, if you don't know who they are, they're pros currently with the DC pickleball team. Are they?
Correct. Technically right now,
MLP, but I know that things are messy right now, but
through
just where they are right now.
Yeah, through all the shuffling, most likely they'll end up somewhere else, or they could end up back there. But yes, they were last season on DC's team, won one of the MLP events, and super awesome girls. They're just so sweet and kind, and they're not like, I don't know. They're among the best. I mean, they're top 10 in the world female pickleball players, and they're the most humble.
Yeah.
Like,
they're not even like
people.
wanting the spotlight.
Right.
Like, they're really just.
So they were gracious enough to come up to Fort Wayne for a couple days. So Jackie will be here both Friday and Sunday. Jade will just be here on Sunday to help with the clinic. So.
And then another unnamed famous person will be here Friday.
Friday. We cannot say his name.
His name.
And don't even give any hints.
I'm not saying anything else.
Well, you're really good at giving away secrets.
I know.
Way to go. So speaking of you liking to talk too much, let's talk a little bit about Pickleball Rocks.
Hey, let's do it.
Because finally I feel a little bit, every time you've mentioned something on the pod, I've kind of been like, feel weird. But now I kind of am like.
Well, it's in the news. It was on Inside Edition last night. Like,
It's
there's
out
just
there.
enough. Yeah, there's enough out there. So the update is that he was forced into bankruptcy.
Chapter 7.
Chapter 7.
For those of you legal experts out there.
Yeah, I was going to say, some people are going to know better what I'm talking about than I do, but
there's a forced bankruptcy.
Forced bankruptcy. U.S. trustees have now been given a 60-day extension, so they now have 120 days to find the money.
And let's hope they do, for everybody's sake out there. Because at this point, I think everybody was scammed by Rodney Grubbs at some point in their lives. And if they weren't, then good on you.
So
good on you.
We do need to be careful, because there's nothing that we can say that we want to get sued about.
Sure.
So we have to be very careful about what we
are
say.
not defaming his character, but we will give you facts. And one of the facts is we went down and testified. You specifically got on the stand. And you did a fantastic job. Both you and my dad testified. It was kind of a funny day because it was our daughter's 8th birthday. She's our youngest. And so we were like, maybe she should come along with us. So we brought her and let her come to court with us. And she sat there, did a great job.
Yeah.
She even was like acknowledged in the courtroom by the judge.
Everybody loved her.
Everybody loved her.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Ellie. She's got the brightest little smile. So. So that was an interesting day, sad day. I mean, I really do listen for all of the stuff that we've been through and had to deal with. It's a sad story at the end of the day, from his family who's, been hurt and betrayed, and just understanding all of that. It's just not good, and it's really sad.
I will say, when I was testifying, I stuck to just the facts. I did not give any emotional.
Even though you wanted to.
Because I had a lot to say, but I felt like none of it was good, so I just gave the facts. Well, I don't know. I think that was a good idea, because then after we got back from Indy, I texted Rodney, and I was like, hey, will you be on our podcast? just
So
to
he
tell
is-
your side of the story.
Yeah, he has been invited to be on our podcast.
Yes,
so
and he actually said at some point he would like to do it. And our goal would just be you tell your story. Like, we're not here to
right, get in an argument or a fight or yell. Yeah.
anything. Like,
Right.
we're just here. You can tell your side of the story, and we're here to listen. So hopefully that happens at some point.
Let's hope so.
We'll see.
We don't know. We'll kind of
Yeah.
see how it goes. He's been pretty mum, just because he's been
Yeah,
advised by his counsel. So far, there have been no charges criminally, but that, from what we understand, could be coming.
He did miss the deadline. This is also facts. He missed the deadline. He was supposed to list all of his creditors by the 14th, and he did not turn those in. So I don't know what that means, but that's not good. So
Not good. So we'll keep you updated as we know more and can say more, but has definitely been a very interesting process to kind of learn this. I will give a big shout out to the lawyer who's been kind of bringing everybody together. His name's Matt Foster out of Indianapolis, and just a really stand-up guy who is not in it for the money. He, I think, has now over
152, I think.
150 some clients through this, and is really taking a very bare minimum. Now, maybe that was strategic on his part, and he's just a genius, and he said,
And
if I get
hey, if you need an attorney in Indy, call
Right.
Matt Foster.
Yeah, for sure. It's
Like,
great,
we'll
great,
plug him.
great publicity for
Yeah.
him, for sure. But regardless, I think it is because he's a good man
Yeah.
and wants to see justice brought, and does not like what he has learned and seen, even behind the scenes with all of the stuff. So anyways, enough about that. Moving on, I do have another PSA, public service announcement. If you're using one of the best features and most underrated, I was just helping somebody out yesterday who had no idea about our PlaySight cameras. So PlaySight is a way for you to scan a QR code and be able to see your games. We have video cameras up on every court, so you can record your games, go back and watch
They
them.
are so great.
It is really,
It's
really
really
great.
fun.
So if you watched
You should do that.
if you watched the Bang Dink Owl podcast last week, we actually had some footage from that from Luke Peppel, and I think next week we're going to have another person who submitted PlaySight footage as well. So you'll see more of the PlaySight. But anyways,
So you should come to Ace and record your games. But
100%.
Go ahead.
But if you do, and if you use the clips feature on it, this is shout out to Richard Wang, one of our friends here at Ace, a member, who loves to take clips and post them on Facebook. But he learned the hard way, and thankfully it wasn't too hard of a way, because it could have been a disastrous
it could have been bad.
experience. But he learned that when you record a clip, it is not taking the audio of you playing. It's actually meant for instruction. So if I was giving a lesson and I took a clip and said, okay, here, Abby, would want to see you move in a little quicker on your third shot drop, you can kind of commentate on top of the clip. Well, Richard did not know this. And Richard was having a lovely conversation with his wife about a friend of theirs who has
Like a
tubes.
baby
Like
who
a
has
baby who has
tubes.
tubes. So very innocent.
But he could have been like
He could have
talking crap about me.
for sure. As I'm sure most people at night sit around and do with their wives, talk about Abby. But yes, thankfully for him.
We
and
were dying.
I was laughing so hard because I'm like, what are they talking about? And they're just, I mean, it's like a minute-long clip, and you just hear them talking about ear tubes. And
I thought it was like
yeah.
some movie clip, and I was like, what am I missing here?
So,
Anyways, that
Richard,
was
thanks
funny.
for the laughs, and just
don't do that, though.
Make sure everybody else out there does not.
Could go poorly.
Yeah, be careful what you talk about, even behind closed doors. You never know what is recording you
Oh,
or
boy.
who's listening.
Oh boy.
All right, that's our intro. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll talk some real pickleball, not just Pickleball Rocks and not just funny family stuff or Ace. And we'll get into some pickleball tips. This came from an article from Zane, and I think it's really helpful. It's going to give some good discussion between Abby and I on some things we agree with, some things we maybe disagree on. All right, we'll be right back right after this.
Parents, your teen driver or soon-to-be driver looks to you for guidance on safe driving techniques.
Drive Alive is an organization dedicated to young driver safety. Visit our website at drivealiveindiana.org to view videos designed to facilitate conversations between parents and their teen drivers.
Topics include getting to know your vehicle, understanding car insurance, simple car maintenance, and what to do if you just had an accident.
Visit drivealiveindiana.org to learn more.
Welcome back to One More Game presented by Hoosier Pickleball. We are going to dive into an article that we both read recently on the Dink. It was with Zane, and it was titled, "You're Fired. Fire your pickleball coach if they tell you these things." And it listed 5 different things. Some of them I would say we both agree with, some of them we disagree with, some of them we would say there's some nuance to. And so I thought it'd be kind of an interesting take to kind of go through each of them and see if we agree, disagree, and why. Okay, so you ready for number 1?
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay, number 1, to beat a banger, you need to slow them down.
So the sense is that Zane disagrees with this.
Yes, with all of these, he disagrees with. He's saying if your coach says this, fire them because he's wrong.
Because he's wrong.
So, do you agree with Zane that it's wrong to say to beat a banger, you need to slow them down?
I feel like it is far more nuanced than that.
Okay.
Because there are times that you need to slow them down. But yes, you should not have to reset and slow down everything. You absolutely should be able to punch roll it back at their feet.
Sure.
So you should have 2 skills. Punch roll it back at their feet and reset and slow it down.
Yeah.
Because if you find yourself continually getting into firefights and losing those firefights, then you have to slow it down.
Yeah.
It is only if you're winning the firefights against a banger should you continue to do that.
Yeah. I like that. Have different tools in your bag because not all bangers are created equal, right? Some of them like to stand back at the baseline and basically play tennis pickleball, where they're just firing forehand after forehand, backhand, ground stroke, ground stroke, ground stroke, and that's all they want to do. If you continue to feed them and give them pace with those, they're going to continue to fire those back, and one of them might clip the net, or one of them might catch you off guard and you might miss it. So I would agree that there is a time that we want to slow that down, that we want to bring them in, make them dink. I've heard you say it before, the way you beat some bangers sometimes is you give them 0 pace. So you want them to create the pace.
So this actually is funny from rec play, and I'm not going to mention any names, just rec play among our friends. We were in the middle of a game, and it was like there was a banger side and a not banger side. So I said to my partner, no pace for this game. Let's just see what happens. Give them no pace. So I'm telling you, I was lob serving, I was lob returning, and I was just resetting and putting everything in the kitchen, and it worked. There's time for it. Now, I wouldn't do that every time.
Right. Because sometimes they're going to figure it out and they're going to start taking a little pace off themselves. Mm-hmm. They're going to move in a little bit more. They're going to find something different. Mm-hmm. But it can be a great strategy to just do 0 pace.
I guess what I'm saying is it's better to have more tools in your tool belt. I get sick of people having one tool.
Right.
And using it against me. I'm like, change your game a little bit.
100%.
Throw in a new skill set.
Absolutely.
It's more fun that way.
Yep. Good. Moving on, number 2. Says stay out of no man's land. This one I completely agree with.
We have never taught. Listen, we're coaches.
Yeah.
We have never taught that.
Correct.
Ever. So who is teaching stay out of no man's land?
Yeah, it's a common thing. I mean, it's called no man's land for a reason.
We call it transition zone.
We call it transition zone for this very reason.
Right.
So we would completely agree with this. Is the best way to get better is to get good in no man's land or the transition zone. Is learn to reset, learn to block, learn how to progressively move in. I would say when I first started, I was an all or nothing. 3rd shot drop, I would hit it, and if it was perfect, I would run to that non-volley zone line as fast as I could. If it wasn't good, I would stay back.
There's a place for that. Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm saying I would judge my 3rd shot drop, and it was an all or nothing thing.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
It's when I felt like my game dramatically improved is when I started to say, all right, I'm going to start moving in, even if it's a couple steps. If my 3rd shot drop is great, okay, I might get all the way to the line, but a lot of times I might just get a step or 2 in and then have to kind of stay there, block a couple until it's good again, and it might take a 5th, 7th, 9th, even an 11th shot before I'm able to
Yeah.
move into the non-volley zone.
Absolutely. Embrace the transition zone.
Embrace it, and you'll see your game improve.
Yeah, so fire your coach if they say stay out of no man's land, for sure.
For sure. How about this one? Would you fire your coach if your coach said forehand takes the middle?
Absolutely. Fire that coach.
Oh, okay.
We have had this
Okay.
discussion
I'll let
in
you
our
go first
own
then.
home.
Really? A couple times.
Yeah,
so
there's
okay.
a time. There's
You
a
go
time.
first.
Well, you and I have talked about respecting the X. I think as we get higher levels, there is more respecting the X than forehand takes the middle. There's a time for forehand takes the middle. But I get frustrated when you get yourself out of position and you are mid-court. I'm over here. You put it at cross-court backhand, and they fire back at your line, and you're mid-court, and you just got screwed. That frustrates me.
I've heard you tell me that before.
If I took that ball, I would keep the ball more middle, though, and we would be more well-placed for the next ball.
Yeah, I hear that. And I would agree with this, that we would never say forehand takes the middle every single time. There's a time for the backhand. I play with some people whose backhands are nasty, and they've got a nasty backhand roll, and depending on the angle, it might be a lot better shot for them to take that and whip it cross court and back to the right side corner. So I think it's, again, nuance in terms of who are you playing with, what kind of power do they have. I think when I've gotten frustrated with you when we've played before, it's kind of like we were talking about earlier, is when you're not putting pressure on somebody staying back, and you are just kind of tapping the ball back to them and letting them unload forehand after forehand. And it's like, if you're not getting a ton of pace on that, then let me take it with my forehand and try to do something more with it. So it's a communication thing. I think it's something that you can talk about with your partner, even midpoint. I'm middle now. I got next one or whatever. If you feel like you've had a couple balls come back and they're just coming right back to you with nothing's changing, mix it up a little bit. So, all right. I think we survived that one all right. I thought we might get in a huge fight over that. Number 4, ready position is equal to paddle out in front and sit on your backhand. So if you're watching on YouTube, we're talking like you're sitting here right on your backhand, like this. This is the ready position, so you're almost in like a block position, okay? We would teach what? How do we teach the ready position?
I mean, I teach her right here.
Right.
How do I like paddle at 12 o'clock? I'm more paddle like 11 o'clock.
Yeah, I would say that's how I teach as well, is like 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
so this is almost like 9 o'clock. You're just sitting on backhand, you're just kind of being a wall here. Some people sit like this. If I see somebody sitting like this,
I'm hitting it over here.
I'm trying to hit it to their chicken wing, to their forehand end, so that they have to come all the way back across to get to that forehand.
Now, I will say though, for beginners, I do teach that.
Okay, you teach them to be a little bit more, they just kind of block it.
And but I make sure to let them know, like, this is for now.
Progress,
as you progress, things change.
Okay,
your game should change as you get better.
Yeah. But I think, I can see that for a very, very green beginner. But anybody who is going to progress fairly quickly, having it at that 11 o'clock still allows them to react and get to that position very quickly. That's why we say 11 o'clock. You're cheating that way a little bit, but you're not all the way that you have to come full face back the other way. So I think that's good. But the important part is the paddle should be up and it should be out in front of you. Now, just a little like extra tag on the end of that is paddle ready position. We're talking standing at the kitchen line. Your ready position, if you're back in the transition zone, is more down. We talk about the seesaw.
More knees? Is it more knees?
Right. It depends where the person who's hitting it is, where their paddle is. If their paddle's up, you're down. If their paddle's down, then your paddle should be more up. So you're kind of thinking that seesaw, the opposite of what they're doing, is where your paddle should be. So your ready position isn't just, you're not a robot that paddle position is always up right in front of you. Sometimes it's going to be down. Okay?
Yep.
All right, last one. This is a tough one too. Again, a lot of nuance in my opinion on this one, but what do you think about never miss a serve?
I mean, you yell at me when I miss a serve in rec play, and I feel like I really don't miss many serves, but if I'm trying to do like a different angle, like trying to hit it more sideline or on either side, trying to get to either backhands or whatever, and I miss it wide, I feel like I'm just trying something, better aim, or if I miss it long because I'm really trying to push it.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. You don't like that.
Yeah, I would say overall, I feel like you shouldn't miss many serves.
Yeah.
I would, in general, teach, especially beginners, I would say you should make it your goal to never miss a serve. Because it is a wide service area, or service area, is that right? I tried to say surface area, but it's service area.
Yeah.
So you've got, let's do the dimensions here real quick, you got 10 feet by 15 feet. That's a lot of space to get the ball down into. Aim for the middle of it, get it in, because you're trying to just get the point started, especially for a beginner. Now the higher up you go, and especially in singles versus doubles, I can see if you've got a dangerous serve, if your serve causes the other person to make a mistake even 20% of the time, 10% of the time, then it's worth the risk to push it a little bit. But pushing it within reason, smartly, if you're missing one serve out of every 10, well then your serve better be producing a mistake 2 out of every 10. You know what I mean? It's a numbers game, so depending on how good your serve is. If you're somebody who your serve is just a lollipop that goes in and just to start the point and comes back, then that's a person I would say you shouldn't miss a serve, because your serve is not hurting anybody. So just get it in the center.
Right.
Don't try to...
But I would say try to make your serve a little bit more of a weapon.
Yeah. To
be
that person, then I would teach, try to push it a little bit more and work on that. That's something to work on. And again, if we're kind of talking tournament play, right? If you're in rec play, work on your serve, get better at your serve. The keys to the serve, we always say, are get it deep, right? And really that's the number one thing. If you can get it to their backhand, or if you can push them to the sideline or move them around in the court, that's a bonus.
That's, if people are switching, you like to hit them wide so that they have to cancel the switch, so that they stay odd.
Yeah,
and that's worth practicing.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I'm saying. That's worth practicing in rec play. So.
Yeah. I again would say, I would never say never miss a serve, but limit the serves that you miss, because a missed serve isn't just necessarily the opportunity for 1 point. That could have been the start of a run that scored you 3, 4, 8 points. So, missed serves are a big deal. Played against somebody this morning who missed a lot of serves, and it caused me to win a lot of games because they were in crucial spots. So, just saying.
And that's where you and I are just different. I hate making mistakes, but I guess I don't mind, in a way, learning, making a mistake, because I'm actually I'm trying to push a serve or put extra top spin on it and I hit it long. Mm-hmm. I don't mind that. In a tournament, I'd be angry. Yeah. But in rec play, I'm whatever. Yeah. You and I are different in that. Yeah. That's okay. Kind of off topic, but just a little bonus tip for this episode. I love, I've been listening, and you all have heard me say this 100 times, the 4-0 to Pro podcast is awesome. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I kind of picked up on was just visualizing the first 5 shots of a point. And I kind of have started to do that more, where do I want to place this ball and what do I want to do? And so I had kind of a win with that, and the last few days I've done it a couple times where I've been serving. So let me just kind of walk you through an example of this, okay? So I was serving from the left side, and I kind of visualized serving to the person's forehand, so kind of up the middle tee, okay? That caused them to come over and hit their forehand, which then opened up the space for me to drop cross court to their backhand. So visualizing that and then executing it was a huge victory. It just felt really good. I was not just serving, saying, okay, I'm going to try to hit this here. Okay, I'm going to do this, which is going to put them out of position. Kind of felt like it was more of a chess move. And maybe for some of you out there, it's well, yeah, no duh. But for some of you, I'm sure that's oh, that's a good thought. Yeah. Maybe I can actually use this shot to set up the next shot. And I'm telling you, it's happened more than once in the last few days as I've been thinking about this, where that position of my serve has then opened up a little bit of space that I could drop it in as they were transitioning up to the line and cause them to make a mistake, or at least got me to be able to hit a third shot that was able to get us into a good spot. So there you go. There's a free tidbit for you. It's a good tidbit.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
All right, another good episode. I mean, this is under 30 minutes right now, so can't argue with that.
Nailed it.
We'll end with something you love. We didn't review this before, so off the cuff, what is it, Abby? What's something you love? I got one. You ready? Because you don't know? I feel like you're blank right now. She does not have a heart full of love right now. It's just Valentine's Day for crying out loud.
I
You
do.
should have been
I love you.
Oh my gosh. Blech. Blech. That's what our girls do now.
It's so annoying.
Blech.
Last night I was like, stop it.
Yeah, stop with the fake gags. Because there are people in our family that have real gags, so we don't need fake gaggers. I will say, I wasn't going to say you, sorry. And then I thought it was Valentine's Day. I obviously do love you and appreciate you, blah, blah, blah. But my girls lately have been wanting to play FIFA with me, which has been really cute.
That's really cute.
It has been fun.
They love it.
And so for me, who, again, big surprise, ultra competitive, used to love to play FIFA like at higher levels, like I've kind of just been like, I never play video games anymore. I don't have time for them. But now that the girls want to play, I'm like, I'll just play like at their level and we'll play together. And it's been fun to kind of even
That's
teach
really
them like
fun.
so like our girls are basketball players, not really soccer players. One of them maybe a little bit of a soccer player, but like teaching them like spacing and be like, okay,
Right.
like,
That's a really good court sense
like
or field
Emmy,
sense.
pass the ball,
Right.
just like basketball. You've got a person open, pass it. Quit trying to dribble through
Yeah, that's
five
good.
guys. So it's
All I
been good.
know is I'm in the kitchen and I'm just here, circle, circle, circle.
Circle.
Is circle to like score?
That's the shoot.
Oh,
but
see, I don't know.
yeah, X, pass. That's usually what I'm saying to Emmy. Pass it.
But then the girls will like ask me like, Mom, can we play FIFA? And I'm like, I literally like my thumbs don't do that. I don't know how to play video games.
You really don't. For as coordinated as you are, video games is never. That's probably a good thing. So.
Probably.
All right. Did you think of something you love?
Everything.
Everything.
The whole world.
Yeah. How about lessons? You've been given some lessons
I have.
lately.
Actually, that's been really fun.
Yeah.
So if you need some lessons, come to Ace. I can give you some at Ace.
There you go.
It's been good.
All right, that'll do it for one more game. Next week we'll be back with another episode of BDO, Bang Dink Ow.
What did one of our friends call it? Shoot, bang, dead. Bang,
I
shoot,
don't
dead.
know. He was trying to be funny. Wasn't funny. Made you laugh.
I thought it was
You
funny.
still hate the name of my
I do.
alternate podcast, but no, we'll be back. And I'll go ahead and say I'm pretty sure we're going to have Josh Walker, my
On
buddy,
video?
my partner. He's submitted one. And the video he submitted has a couple laugh out loud moments in it.
Did
At
he
least
get hit?
one.
Is that the one where he got hit?
He got hit
I heard about this.
pretty hard.
I want to see it.
Yeah, so I think that's the game we're going to use, and it was some good high-level play, so hopefully we'll have some good things for higher-level players, but I'm sure we'll have some things also for all players of all skill levels.
Yay.
All right, have a great day. We'll see you next time on One More Game.
As always, we want to thank our sponsors, Hoosier Pickleball, Drive Alive Indiana, Ace Pickleball, and Wheeland Real Estate. Reach out to Abby B for all your buying, selling, investing, and other real estate needs. In addition, a big thank you to the Ace Pickleball Studio in the world-famous Spiece Fieldhouse. Please make sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts or find us on YouTube at One More Game Pod. That's the number One More Game Pod. Hit that subscribe button and be sure to leave us a 5-star rating to help us spread the love. You can also find us on Facebook and TikTok at Hoosier Pickleball for all kinds of fun tips, tricks, and other family shenanigans. Thanks again for listening, and we will see you next time.